Superbooth 21, Tommy from SYNTH Anatomy. I'm here on the booth of Plankton or Winter Plankton.
Plankton, both of us.
It's a new collaboration.
Yes, it's a collaboration between Winter Modular and Plankton Electronics. Also, we have had the help of Miguel from Idel as a product designer, and well, I'm more on the digital side. He's more on the analog side, and we have joined forces in the things we do best, and we have created the ZAPS.
And you're based in Barcelona, right?
Yes, exactly. We are based in Barcelona, and well, we share a great community there with Befaco, Patching Panda, and many other manufacturers. Yeah.
Barcelona has become really a modular city. With you see it's endorphins, Befaco, Plankton, it's Winter Modular, Patching Panda, and Transient, I think, yeah.
And also now electronics too. Yeah, there are many brands and there are a lot of people doing.
So Barcelona is a worth visit with all these developers, and now a collaboration of both. Do you charge different roles in this? Is the design of this? Is it the analog side and the digital side? Is it you put in different section, or you said we are doing now the analog side and you are at the digital side, or?
Well, I'm more.
Yeah, we developed the idea first of the analog voice, and I developed the voice, and we talked before about we want all the digital control and the random possibilities, and then I started, of course, developing then the sound part, and then when it was something like it started to sound, then we joined and start to make all the digital part, also with Miguel, the product designer also, and start to think all the features that it can have.
And so Winter Plankton happened.
Yeah.
And was it from the first minute sure that it will be an analog thing, or it was
maybe from the minute 10 maybe. So we start with idea in a software, and then we thought about it. How can we do it? We can do it like fully digital, or maybe an hybrid of with analog and digital, and then we decided to make it a hybrid. Yeah, because it will sound better and it will have all the control.
And do you because it's analog, you try to replicate a sound from the past, or is it your own try to get an own touch in drum sound? Because we know it's legendary 808, 909, 606 and so on, or even a cymbal percussion. What was your starting point? Was it a more vintage sound or more modern?
Not like that. So I work with electronics, with analog electronics, and I like the sound of it. Of course, I like digital too. So I'm not saying that one is better than the other, but I'm used to analog, and I think that you can give it this kind of touch and this kind of sound that I'm used to give it to it, and it's what I'm happy with to work. So, and the digital part, of course, it gives you all the possibilities and all the control that with only an analog voice you can't do. So I think that the combination of both is what it gives you all the power and all the sound possibilities.
And regarding the kind of sound, we had ideas on classic things, but with the possibilities the digital part have, we can create like more and different sounds, and yeah.
So I'm pretty sure you can also save presets and sound. That's the digital part, yeah.
Exactly.
So it's not sure which side you decide. It's more so you have this from the past, the sounds, and from the modern. So it could create both sides, more vintage inspired sounds and more modern drum sounds. Or did I understood it wrongly?
No, que sí, que es buscar més un so vintage o uns sons més moderns, més tal.
Okay, now for this voice, it was more like starting from the classic point of drum generating sounds. Of course, you can make all the classic drum sounds like kick drums, snare drums, and also you have other possibilities to make something more modern. But the starting point was the classical sound.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we talk enough. It's time for go deeper in the drum sculpting world of Winter Plankton. ZAPS.
Yes.
Does it has the name comes from?
It's onomatopoeia, I think, from the sound. Yeah, type of sound. Yeah, like a percussive sound and electric sound. Yeah.
And you said it's analog with digital control.
I should turn it up. Yeah, it's an analog voice with digital control. So the core is an analog synth with 2 VCOs and 2 envelopes. You have pitch envelope per VCO. You have amplitude modulation, frequency modulation, cross FM, and a mixer with 2 channels and high pass filters. That's the analog part. And then with the digital part, you have 12 banks with 12 slots. At each slot you can save a sound preset. So for example, now you have different sounds stored in here. You can switch from bank to bank and from slot to slot and listen to different sounds that you're storing. And then with the CV control you can address these slots. Then you have one voice, but it's sequenced, and then you have different features like the editor feature, where you can edit all the slots at once. So, for example, we can turn up the release or add FM. You can go back because the editor is like very destructive. You have a freeze function where you can take a capture of the whole project and then you can revert to that point. You have copy function where you can copy one sound to another slot or to another bank. You have 6 CV inputs that you can address to any destination, to any parameter, and they can also be outputs. So for example, if we can assign this alt feather to this CV out, you can listen maybe with this one, and we will control the distortion with this feather. Now you listen that when it's going to this slot, the distortion goes up, and you can do it with the editor function. Now you can use a single feather to send an effect or to control an external machine. Then another function that it has, is the random. With the random, you can randomize any parameter of any sound. So let me show. You go to the random and you say, okay, I want to randomize the release and the pitches, the AM, the FM, envelopes, and you go to the master random. Then have a new sound every time. You can turn it off, you can turn it down, up, and then you can trigger it, and when you like a sound, you can capture this sound and copy to a new slot with the snapshot function.
And how many spaces you can load with how many presets or patch?
Yeah, you have 12 banks with 12 slots, but also you have a file system where you can store any.
And you can export them probably, or
yeah, there is an SD card, so you can store banks, you can store sounds, and you can share the sounds on the bank. So it's
and it's what maybe I'm now already forgot. Or it's how many voices it has? It's
one voice.
One voice.
Yeah, it's just one voice. But the thing is that when you are sequencing or using the random, it's changing all the time. That's where we're talking before about the conjunction with the analog and the digital part. Sending triggers and CVs, a CV control to address everything here.
So you are not. There's no sequence inside, and so it's just a drum voice.
It's a
but
drum voice, yeah.
but I see it's sequencing a bit like so you are sequencing through different sounds now. Or?
Yeah, we are sequencing with external sequencer, with the step sequencer. We are addressing with the CV input, we're addressing the different slots.
Okay.
So when you are sending voltage, like the 0 volts will be the number 1 and 10 volts the number 12. And
From my impression, I think this voice is pretty deep.
yeah.
Pretty deep.
It's deep. It's not like deep scrolling into menus, but it has a lot of possibilities, so it's deep in that sense.
And a pretty great.
We forgot about.
There is another function which is the morph, where you can morph between two slots, and then it's like a crossfade between two slots. I can show you. Change the band. Go to the morph further, and you are morphing between two slots from one slot to the other. And also, when you are in the middle point, you can capture that sound with the snapshot and go and store that. Sorry, you are saying something.
I find it pretty impressive that you can also random stuff so quickly.
Yeah, you can random. Yeah, you just need to address the randoms and use the master random, and yes.
And how much HP it has?
It's 24. Yeah, 24 HP. Yes.
Okay, so it's a big module with big possibilities.
Yes, it was.
So that was a first demo of the first product from Winter Plankton. When we can expect it?
Maybe you have heard about the chip shortage. it's a subject this year. It will be available at first quarter of 22. And we will have the chips before, but we take some margin to be sure that it will be available during.
And talking about this topic, is it hard for you actually for a modular developer to manufacture your?
It's a jungle, yeah. Remember in the pandemics the toilet paper issue? Was it something like this?
Like that, yeah. It's difficult. You have to hurry up. Yeah.
So you're buying immediately more than usual now.
It's what everybody is doing, yeah, in this sector.
Yes.
And it's made in Barcelona, yeah. It's
finally assembled in Barcelona, yes.
Okay. And the price point?
It's 485 euros.
Okay.
And it's available for pre-order now, so you can pre-order and we will deliver in next year.
Okay. Big thanks, guys.
Yeah.
It was a big pleasure, and hope you enjoyed this the Superbooth 21 and the next days, because it's still one day to go.
Yeah.
So big thanks, and hope to see you again in the next Superbooth videos here on the SYNTH YouTube channel. Bye.